Now, when you're asked to simplify the following, square root of 50, square root of 50, square root of 98, and that of 200. Now, when you're asked to simplify, it means you are asked to write the following in their basic form. Okay, so in their basic form means that you are to express this one in such a way that you cannot, do anything to it again. All right, so we have a way of doing that. Now we use at times 90% of prime numbers to test. Now let's observe this. So let's 2, 3, 5, 7, 11, and what have you. Okay, so to write this one in basic form, we need two things here. So you write this 50 as something times something, whereby 1 should be a perfect square. Now we know perfect squares. 1 times 1 is 1, 2 times 2, 4, 3, 3, 9, 4, 4, 16, 5, 5, 25, 6 is 36, and what have you. So we call these perfect squares. Okay, so to write this one in basic form, we will test it by dividing this number by the first number here. So 50 divided by 2 is 25. Is 25 a perfect square? Yes. So I'll pick that. So in place of this, I'll make it 25 times 2. So 1 is a perfect square. So we are free to go. All right. So from here, we can write this one as square root of 25 and that of 2. So this and that. Okay. This one is a perfect square. So it will give us exact number, that is 5. So 5 times square root of 2 will be 5 root 2. It means square root of 50 in its basic form is 5 root 2. Okay. Now let's go to the II. So the II, now square root of 98. So let's divide this one by 2 and see. So if I do that, I'll get 49. So 49 is a perfect square because 7, 7, 49. 7 times 7 is 49. So it's a perfect square. So in place of this, I'll make it 49 times 2. Okay. 2 times 49 is 98. So we can write this, it as 49 times square root of 2. This one is a perfect square. That will be 7. So 7 times square root of 2. That will be 7 root 2. So this one in its basic form is this. You can't do this. You can't do anything to this again. So that's the answer. So you can pause the video and give the third one a try. Okay, square root of 200. Okay, how do we write it in its basic form? Okay, so same thing. You test it by dividing it by the following. Okay, so 200, that will be 100 times 2. Okay, so we have square root of 100 times square root of 2. So this one is a perfect square. That will be 10. So 10 root 2 is the answer. Now, it's not always that we use prime numbers. Now, for instance, when you're asked to write square root of 24 in its basic form, there is no way any prime number will work with that. Okay, apart from 6, because 6 divided by this is 4, and 4 is a perfect square. So that will be 4 times 6. 4 times 6. This one is a perfect square, and this one is not a prime number. So that's the only way we can do it, okay? And it's not always that we use prime numbers. So let's get it. So we have square root of 4 times square root of 6. So this one is perfect. That will be 2. So 2 with 6. So this one in its basic form is this. All right. Now, can you try that of 75? So square root of 75. Can you try that? Now, if you start with 2, you get funny answer, okay? So you get, let's see calculator here. So 75 divided by 2, that will be 37.5, which is not a perfect square. So we move on to the next number, 3. 75 divided by 3, that is 25. So to work, so we have 25 times 3. 75 times 3. This one is a perfect. So you are free to go. Once you get one perfect square here, you are free to go. So we have square root of 25 type that. So this one is a perfect square. That will give us 5. So 5 with 3 is the same as square root of 75. Okay. Now you can try the following. So you can write the answers under the comment section below. So that is 32, 8, and 128. Okay. Now let's look at this. If you're asked to simplify this, okay, so we have square root of 50 plus square root of 32 plus square root of 132. Okay, so this one is not different from the first one, okay? You need to reduce them and then put them together. Now let's test the first one. We mean you want to write this one as a perfect square and non-perfect square, okay? So we know 50 is the same as 25 times 2. So of course, we test it with the following: 2, 3, 5, 7, 11, and at times 6, okay? 13, in that order. So when we divide this one by 2, it will be 25. And please, let's be very careful. Once this number works for this, it will work for this also, and then do same to this. So let's assume that this 50, when divided by this 2, will give you a perfect square. It will work for this number, then do same to this as well. Now let's try. Now, when you divide this one by 2, you get 25. That will be, so it will be 25 times 2 plus. Now divide this one by the same number and let's see. So 32 divided by 2, that will be 16. So 16 is a perfect square. 16 times 2. Now let's try the last one. So 162 divided by 2. 162 divided by 2. That will be 81. 81 times 2. 81 is a perfect square. So let's check something. 2, 2, 2. Okay. Now from here, we can write this one as square root of 25 times square root of 2 plus 16 times 2 plus 81 times 2. Now this one is perfect. That will be 5. So 5 with 2, 4 with 2. Then we have 9 with 2. So square root of 81 is 9. So from here, since we have done addition of cells, okay, we have with 2, with 2, with 2. I'll pick the coefficients 1, 2, 3. 5 plus 4 plus 9, 2. So 5 plus 4 is 9. So we have 18 with 2 as the answer. Okay. Now let's continue with the second example. This time we have 24, 96, and 600. Remember 24, we used 6, okay? And once 6 works for this, it will affect this, then do same to this. Now, 24 by 6 is 4. So 4 times 6 plus. And when we divide 96 by 6, okay, so pick a calculator and let's divide together. That will be 16 by 6 minus, so by 6 will be 100 by 6, okay? So from here, I can write this one as square root of 4 times square root of 6. Then we have square root of 16 times that of 6 minus square root of 100 times that of 6. So this one is perfect. That will be 2. So 2 with 6 plus, so this is perfect, 4 with 6 minus, this is perfect, 10 with 6. Remember the addition and subtraction of cells. 1, 2, 3. So we have 2 plus 4 minus 10. So we group them and we pick one of them. Yeah. Okay. So 2 plus 4 is 6. 6 minus 10 is minus 4 with 6. So we have 6 minus 10. Minus 4 with 6. Okay. All right, so let's continue. This time we have 147, 75, and 27. Okay, so let's test this. So 2 will be funny. So let's move on to 3. 147 divided by 3. 147 divided by 3 is 49. So it's perfect. So 49 times 3 is a perfect square. And then 75, okay, so 75 will be 25 times 3, and 9, 3, 27. 9 is a perfect square, 25 is a perfect square, and 49 is a perfect square. Be very careful with that. So from here, we can write this one as square root of 49 times minus square root of 25 times plus square root of 9 times 3. So we have a perfect square. That will be 7 with 3, 5 with 3, Then we have 3 with 3. So from here, you can say 7 minus 5 plus 3. 7 minus 5 plus 3 with 3. Okay. So this side will be 2. So that will be 5. 5 with 3. Simple as that. Okay. All right. So let's continue with this. This time we have coefficients. Okay. 2 and 3. 3. Then we have 3 here. All right. So it doesn't change anything. Okay. So let's look at what is here. So let's test this one. So 8 on 2 will be 4. 4 is a perfect square. So we are free to go. So we have this. 4 times 2 is 8. 4 is a perfect square. So this one will be 100 times 2. So the same 2. So 2 and 3. So 81 times 2. Okay. So have this, have that. Now this one is the same as 3 times. Okay. And we can write this one as square root of 4 times 2. So this one is same as 3 times that. And this one can be written as that. Plus 3 times square root of 100 times 2 plus 2 on 3 times square root of 81 times square root of 2. Okay, so from here we can write this one as 3 times. Remember, this one is 2 times square root of 2 plus 3 times. This one is 10 times square root of 2 plus 2 on 3 times. So 9 times square root of 2. So from here, 3 to 6 times that will be 6 with 2, 3 10, 30 with 2. So 3 here, 3 times 2 is 6 with 2. So 6, 36. That will be 6 plus 30 plus 6 with 2. So that will be 12, 30, 42 with 2. Okay? So we have 42 with 2 over there. Now, if square root of 32 plus square root of 128 minus square root of 18 plus square root of 50 equals to k root 2, and you're asked to find k. All right, so this one is not different from what we've been doing. So let's start by reducing them. After that, we compare with the right hand side. So from here, 32 is 16 times 2, and this one will be 64 times 2, because 64 is a perfect square. And this side will be 9 times 2, and this side will be 25 times 2 equals to k root 2. So from here, I can make this side 16 times 2 plus 64 times 2, and we have 9 times 2, and we have 25 times 2 equals to k root 2. Now from here, since this one can be split as square root of 16 times square root of 2, that will be square root of 16 times square root of 2. I don't want to waste time. We'll write this one before root 2. So I'll write this one as 4 root 2, and this one will be 8 root 2, and this one will be 3 root 2 plus 5 root 2 equals to k root 2. Okay, so from here, I can deal with the left hand side. Root 2, 2, t. So we have 4 plus 8 minus 3 plus 5. We have this equals to k 2. So we have 5, 10, 14 root 2 equals to k root 2. So we have this equals to that. So root 2, therefore k is 14 when you compare, okay? This one equals to that. And we have root 2 here. We have root 2. It means what is here is the same as what is here. So my k is simply 14. Simple as that. Go ahead as we find y here, okay? All right, so this time we have square root of 24 plus square root of 96 minus square root of 600, okay? So let's test this. We know 24 is 4 by 6, so don't waste time, okay? So this side will be 100 times 6, and then 96 by 6 will also be 16. So from here, I'll write this as 4 times 6 plus 16 times 6 minus 100 by 6. And we have y with 6. Now, from here, I can say 2 with 6 because it's the same as square root of 4 times square root of 6. Even if you have been following what you've been doing, I think this one wouldn't be a problem. So this side will 4 with 6, just repetition, 10 with 6 equals to y with 6. All right, so you can deal with the left hand side. 2, 4, 10. 2 plus 4 minus 10 equals to y with 6. So this side will be 6 minus 4 with 6 equals to y with 6. So let's compare to y, then minus 4. So with 6, so this one is the same as that. Therefore, y is minus 4 as the answer. Okay, so that's that. Now let's go ahead and solve for k here. Now the only issue here is that k is also under the root sign. So let's see how this one will be possible here. All right, don't rush. You see, you go by the same method, okay? But you won't touch this for now. So we'll keep on repeating this one as we deal with the others. So this side will be 3k. And we have 9 times 2, okay? And this one will be 49, okay? 49 times 2. And we have 25 times 2. So from here, this side will be 3k plus, so this side will be 3 2. And we have 7 with 2 equals to 5 with 2, okay? So from here, this one will be, now we can, since we have with 2, we can group them on other side, okay? So 3 minus 7 here will be minus 4 with 2 equals to 5 with 2. So that will be 3k under the root sign equals to 4 with 2 plus 5 with 2. So that will be, so 4, 5 will be 9 with 2. It means square root of 3k equals to 9 with 2. Now, what do? We after k? So we have to remove the square root. So to remove the square root, we have to square both sides. So this one will cancel. We'll have 3k equals to. Now be very careful. We are squaring everything. When we have t with x all squared, now this squared will affect this. That will be t squared. And it will affect this, whereby it cancel the root sign, making x. So this is t squared x. So same thing here. This one will affect this. That will be 9 squared 81 times this one's multiplication. And this one squared will cancel the root sign. So times 2. So I will divide both sides by 3. So 81 times 2 will be 162. So 162 on 3. 162 divided by 3 will be 54. So my k, okay, my k here is 54 as the answer. All right. Now let's record the properties of cells, okay? Now, we made mention of when we have square root of m times square root of m. So same thing, just as t times t is t squared, okay? So we have same thing here. So this one will be this one all squared. So this one will cancel, that will be m, okay? Now I also talk about when we have coefficients, okay? So this one and that are not the same with coefficients. So if it happens this way, this and this will multiply. That will be AB, and this, that is MC, that root sign will also multiply. So that's the result, okay? It means following this, when we have 5 with 3 times 4 with 7, so we have 5 and 4, 5, 4, 20. Then this under the root sign, 7, 3, 21. They also multiply. Okay. Now, we can also recall this. So, A would be times C. So, this one is not having any square root. And situation like this, it will affect the one outside. So, that will be AC root B. And same thing, Y times A root B. Same thing, this one will multiply this. That will be AY with B. Okay, so we have so many of them. Now, when we have square root of A, okay, times A square root of T. So same thing, we have coefficient here as 1. So 1 times A is A. Then this time that will be square root of 80. Okay, so it's a revision. All right. Now, one more thing, when we have square root of A on square root of B, so division, so I'll take 1, then this one will come AB. Okay, example, square root of 9 on square root of 3, the same as 9 on 3. So that will be square root of 3. Okay, all right. So that's that. Now let's look at multiplication. Okay, so when we have A plus B times b plus c, like this. Okay, so a will take this. We have a plus b plus c. Then we have b plus c. Okay, so ab plus ac plus b squared plus bc. Okay, so we can apply this one here when we have a plus square root of x times b plus square root of y. Okay, so this one, it will be a taking b plus square root of y, then plus square root of x taking b plus square root of y. All right, so that will be ab. So this one time this will be a with y, and this one time this, so to come outside per the properties. So this one times that, so square root x y. So we can group like terms, so that will be the result. Okay, so with this, let's solve the following examples. Okay, so you can pause the video. Once you've watched the properties, you should be able to deal with them. Okay, so once you fill the properties well, this one won't be a problem. So let's start with the first one. So this time this, that will be 3 with 3 plus, and this time that it will go inside, so it will be 3 with 3 plus square root of 6. Okay, now this time that they all have square root, so square root of 6, and this time that, so square root of 3 times square root of 3, that will be 3. Now this one, you take this one to multiply with 10, so that will be this time that 3, and this time that plus with 3, and you take negative 1 to 1 through, that will be minus root 3 minus 1 times 1 minus 1. So this one will cancel. 3 minus 1 is 2. Okay, and the last one, coefficient here is 1, so 1 times 2 is 2, and this time that is 3, so we have 2 times 3. 1 times 2 is 2, this time that is 3 plus. Now when you multiply anything by a fraction, it will affect the numerator, so y times m on t will be my on t. Okay, so this time that will be 2 with 3 on with 3, whereby this one will cancel, so 3 to 6 plus 2, 8. As simple as that. All right. Okay, so let's simplify the following. We have square root of 2 times square root of 3 to the power 3. Okay, so we can write this one as square root of 2 times, so this one is 3, so I will put it 3 times. Okay, so this and that will be 3 times root 3 times root 2. So this and that will be square root of 6 times 3, that will be 3 with 6. Okay, and this one, okay, we are squaring this one. 2 with 6 minus 3, so the same as 2 with 6 minus 3 times 2 with 6 minus 3. Okay, so from here, let me use this part. So that will be 2 root 6 times 2 root 6 minus 3. Then we have minus 3, taking 2 root 6 minus 3. So from here, this will multiply this to 4. This time that will be 6 for the properties minus. So this time that the 3 will affect the one outside. So that will be 6 with 6. Okay. So we are done with the first bracket minus. So this time that 6 with 6 minus minus plus. This time that is 9. So 6 for 24. So minus 6 is minus 12 with 6 plus 9. So 9 plus 24, that would be, so 5, we have 29. So 33. So we have 3 minus 12 with 6. Okay. That is that.